Hey, chickens. The third mistake that is so easy to make in self-employment is to look for results at the wrong time in the wrong places. This is like, what if it's growing yet? You know, you plant a tomato plant, and if you yank on the poor dear and pull it up by its roots every day to see how it's doing, you will never, ever, ever get tomatoes. But so often I have clients who tell me, I've been self-employed for 6 months and I only have 4 clients. Well, hello, that could be spectacular. That could be perfectly fine. The person who has 4 clients at 6 months might have 8 at 12 months, so long as they keep going. But if they're judging their progress and judging it negatively at 6 months because they only have 4 clients, they're going to lose heart. And they won't have those 4 clients at the end of the 6 months, or at the end of 12 months, let alone 4 more. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't measure your progress, because you should. So here are some keys to measuring progress in a way that helps you instead of getting in your way. The first key to measuring progress is to have simple plans so that you know yourself what you're going to do roughly, and you can measure your progress by checking in to see if you're doing it. So for example, in my first years of business, my business plan was about 2 paragraphs long. It was less than half a page of paper typed out. My marketing plan, part of that business plan, was to have a website, to have a weekly email newsletter, and to do occasional press releases. Occasional press releases to me meant one every 2 to 3 months. That was the extent of my marketing plan: press releases, newsletter, and a website. My income goals were to be earning $125,000 after my first 5 years in business. At the time, that seemed princely to me, and that's what I wanted to do. What else was in that first business plan? I had a number of clients that I wanted. In my first year of coaching, I planned to have 6 clients by the end of the first year, 12 by the end of the second year, and 24 by the end of the third year. Again, that first year goal was very, very modest compared to what most of my colleagues were setting out to do. I'm the one who ended up with a stable business after 3 years, when most of my colleagues who were starting out in coaching were going to get day jobs. So the first key to looking for results in an appropriate way and measuring results is to set simple conditions of satisfaction. What are you going to do? How often? And what are your goals? Keep this very simple. Modest goal and make it, and have that shot of confidence, than it is to shoot for a high goal and fail. Just say no to extraordinary goal setting. Set average to modest goals. The second key to measuring results in a way that's effective and won't get in your way is to measure at appropriate intervals. How many referrals you're getting, how many phone calls you're making, how many networking events you're going to. You can track those kinds of things as often as every week, but don't measure them, don't interpret them for at least 4 months. It takes time, folks. This is so important. You're pulling on the tomato plant, you're hurting the root system that will nourish your business if you measure results any more often than 3 times a year. ups and downs. So I've said in my first year, my goal was to have 6 clients. My 6th client hired me on the first day of the second year of my business. During that second year, there were times when I was down to 4 clients. If I had interpreted that as going backwards, as losing ground, I would not have had the heart to keep doing the simple things on my half-page business plan. Instead, what I did is told myself to look at the trend line. On the whole, from the day I started my business until the day that 18 months into my business, I had been gaining clients. Yes, there were ups and downs, but if you drew an angle through the peaks, you would see that on the whole, my business was growing. So watch the trend line. Don't obsess with the little ups and downs. Within 2 months of that day that I only had 4 clients, I had 10. I never would have gotten there if I'd been obsessing about falling behind.
Hello, crows.